Greetings everyone, welcome to F.News, a place where you can get your local news, global news, and also the winning lottery tickets. You want them? Tune in until after the show. Starting our show, after a long and draining election, amidst certain candidates claiming victory before results are finalized. I'm going to show a clip. We give an American salute to our new president, Joe Biden. Now, like a newly acquired stepfather, this election brings gifts, starting with Kamala Harris, who is now the first female vice president, but also the first black woman voted into the White House. Also on the same scale there, Madison Cawthorn, a 25-year-old Republican, won his election for the 11th congressional seat for North Carolina, making him the youngest member of Congress in modern history. Also making history, both Mondaire Jones and Richie Torres won their election, making them the first openly gay black congressman. On that note, we're going to switch over to Oregon, who has become the first state to decriminalize cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, and a number of other drugs. Here at F.News, we don't express verbal judgment, so I'll just... Now, rolling over from that, the newest states to legalize recreational marijuana are Montana, New Jersey, Arizona, and South Dakota. Marijuana being a small-time drug, I'm sure none of you take part in. Counting the new additions, this now makes 15 states to legalize recreational marijuana. And while there are people that see it as a troublesome drug, there are people that legitimately benefit from it. Whether it helps them deal with fear, pain, depression, anxiety, imposter syndrome, or that uncle that nobody likes. But marijuana does also bring forth a financial benefit for states. Like in 2018, when the cigarette giant Marlboro invested $1.8 billion into the cannabis industry. And it's not to mention that all the taxes that states collect from recreational marijuana can help them build schools and also help out local businesses. Here's a quote from Colorado's governor, Jared Polis, reported on by coloradosun.com. He says, and quote, "This industry is helping grow our economy by creating jobs and generating valuable revenue that is going towards preventing youth consumption, protecting public health safety, and investing in public school construction." Now, it's important to note that that comment was made in 2014, just 6 years ago, where the graduation rate was 77.3%. And now it is an astounding 81.1% as reported 2019 last year. And now, global news. Typhoon Goni has ravaged its way through the Philippines, leaving its large populated areas without power and an estimated 25,000 houses destroyed. Dozens of people have gone missing, and a growing number of people have been called dead, which is a horrible tragedy. So if you at home would like to help in any way, organizations such as the Red Cross or UNICEF USA are out there for you to donate. Or if there's another organization that you trust, you are free to go to them as well, just so long as we can try and help the Philippines as best as we can. Moving over to sports, Atlanta Falcons fans and New York Giants fans both share in the emotional and spiritual drought as both teams continue to disappoint. And before you say anything, now you may be asking yourself, what about the New York Jets? My answer, what about them? Moving over into gaming news, if you're like me, then you're excited for Cyberpunk 2077. But if you're also like me, then every brand new delay of that game brings over an empty existential feeling that other people would just call sadness. I, for one, say CD Projekt Red has earned its right to delay the game as many times as it needs, given that they do release A1 quality games. The only problem with that is that they're in a current state of crunch right now. For those who don't know, crunch basically is the term for when a company is making its employees do overtime. Overtime can range from 1 extra hour to 2 extra hour to 12-hour shifts in a day. And that's every day for sometimes weeks, for sometimes months, sometimes half a month. It just keeps going until the product, which is the game, is finally released and delivered. Now, many companies have come forward to say no more crunch, CD Projekt Red being one of those companies, until they came up close to their deadline, they couldn't meet it, so now they are in a constant crunch as of right now. And keep in mind, with crunch, there may be no vacational time taken. Most companies have different guidelines, but for the most part, there's a overwhelming feeling. Employees have come out to say that you can't just abandon your team, which is horrible, because then that can leave you 6 months in with no time off. Imagine coming into work and it is busy from the time you clock in to the time you clock out for 12 hours. Now, try doing that every single day. Many people have come out against crunch to say the gaming industry and all other industries should stop it. It's not just gaming. I will definitely say that it is most other companies. It's important to mention CD Projekt Red is by no means the only company that takes part in crunch. And if you would actually like to know more about this, then Inside Gaming YouTube channel has released a video way back in March talking about the crunch from CD Projekt Red and from other companies such as Naughty Dog. Link will be in the description. Moving to more gaming news, the PS5 is out and it's been getting great reviews so far, with USA Today saying powerhouse gaming console with innovative controls. A lot of that praise going towards the new DualSense controller for the PS5. And USA had to say, quote, the DualSense controller is the most advanced ever for a video game controller. The left and right adaptive triggers offer resistance, mimicking an action that may require more tension. And that controller will also offer haptic feedback specific to every situation, not just a generic rumble with any action. Now that sounds sexy. You should try saying that in your next conversation with your significant other. Now, jumping to an article from Gamespot by Matt Paget, who also praises the controller. He says, quote, the directional pad and face buttons also feel less stiff, knocking out fighting game inputs. Feels great, and while the analog sticks are about the same size as the DualShock 4s, they feature more grip and a slightly more concave form factor, making them easier to hold on to. Now, can you imagine someone walking up to you on the street and saying, hey, you look like you got some good grip, right? The article then states and praises the SSD drive from the PS5, stating, the Spider-Man Miles Morales serves as a great test case for the speed of the console. Getting from the home page to gameplay takes less than 10 seconds, which sounds erotic. But it seems the PS5 is making a splash, with Sony jumping off of the PS4, one of the best-selling consoles of all time. Hopefully the PS5 has a bright history ahead of itself. And now, some fake news. Divorce rates are sky high. Is it because of the Democrats? We've received written messages that state. We've also received anonymous text messages stating, I just got divorced and it's because of the Democrats. We have reason to believe the Democrats have hired Hawaiian spies to try and trick married men into cheating on their loyal wives. Why, you may ask? Do Democrats care about single men? Because it shows that single men vote more Democratic, according to statistics. Don't believe us? How about a random black guy?
The only way to hard way. We don't.
That was powerful. Now how about a white dude?
The only way to hard way. like the only way the hard way.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Proof that we just created. And that was some fake news. And that's our show. We want to thank you for tuning in. And also, if you would like, you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook if you're still using it. And you guys have a good one. Be safe.